Hello and welcome. If you want to improve your English listening skills and learn new vocabulary in a fun and relaxing way, you are in the right place. Before we begin today's happy story, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell. That way, you will never miss a new story from us. Ready? Let's begin. It was a gray Saturday morning. Rain tapped gently on the window of Clara's small apartment. Usually, she loved the sound of rain, but today it made her feel a little lonely and bored. She decided it was the perfect day to finally unpack the last box from when she moved in 3 months ago. The box was heavy and dusty. It was filled with old books and photo albums from her grandmother's house. As she carefully lifted out the items, her fingers touched a small, leather-bound book. It was her grandmother's recipe book. Clara smiled. She opened the book, and the smell of old paper and sweet spices filled the air. The pages were filled with her grandmother's beautiful, elegant handwriting. She turned the pages slowly, reading the names of the recipes. Apple pie for a cold day, chocolate cookies to share with friends, and winter vegetable soup. Then she saw it, a recipe with a star drawn next to it. Grandma Elena's Sunshine Lemon Cake. Underneath the title, her grandmother had written a little note. This cake can make even the rainiest day feel sunny. Clara remembered that cake. She remembered sitting in her grandmother's kitchen, a small girl with flour on her nose, watching as her grandmother mixed the ingredients with a steady, loving hand. The cake was light and sweet, with a taste that was pure happiness. "I'm going to make it," Clara said to her empty apartment. The decision immediately made her feel more cheerful. She went to her kitchen and looked at the recipe. Flour, sugar, eggs, butter, lemons. She had all of those. She read the list again. At the bottom, one special ingredient was underlined, a spoonful of lavender honey. Clara checked her cupboards. She had regular honey, but not lavender honey. Well, she thought, I will have to go and buy some. She put on her raincoat and boots and went outside. The rain was lighter now. Her first stop was the big supermarket at the end of her street. She walked up and down the aisles looking for the special honey. They had dozens of different types of honey, but not lavender. She asked an employee, but he just shook his head. Feeling a little disappointed, Clara started to walk home. But then she remembered a small shop on a quiet side street. It was called the Corner Pantry, an old-fashioned food shop that sold local and special products. She had never been inside. Maybe they would have it. She walked 2 more blocks and found the shop. A little bell rang as she opened the door. The inside was warm and smelled wonderful, like fresh bread and herbs. The walls were lined with wooden shelves full of jars, bottles, and packets. An old man with kind eyes and a white apron was standing behind the counter. "Good morning," he said with a warm smile. "Good morning," Clara replied. "I'm looking for something a bit unusual. Do you have any lavender honey?" The man's smile grew wider. "Lavender honey? Of course. It's one of our best products. People don't buy it very often these days." He walked to a shelf and picked up a small glass jar filled with beautiful golden honey. "Here you are." "That's wonderful. Thank you so much," Clara said, feeling very happy. "I'm making my grandmother's lemon cake, and it's the special ingredient." "A lemon cake with lavender honey?" the man said, his eyes full of interest. "My wife used to make a cake like that. It was delicious." He looked at Clara kindly. "Was your grandmother from this town?" "Yes, she was. Her name was Elena," said. The man's eyes lit up with recognition. "Elena, of course. I remember her. She used to come into this shop when my father was the owner. She always bought this honey. She said it was her secret to a happy cake." Clara was amazed. "You knew my grandmother?" "Yes, a long time ago. She was a lovely woman, always smiling." Clara felt a warm, happy feeling spread through her chest. She bought the honey, thanked the shopkeeper, whose name was Mr. Gable, and practically ran home, her heart full of joy. Back in her kitchen, she started to bake. She mixed the flour and sugar, squeezed the lemons, and added the eggs. Finally, she opened the jar of lavender honey. A delicate, sweet smell filled the room. She added a spoonful to the mixture, just as her grandmother's recipe said. Soon the entire apartment was filled with the sweet aroma of lemons and warm sugar. When the cake was finally ready, she took it out of the oven. It was perfect, a beautiful golden brown color. She let it cool for a few minutes, then cut a small slice. She took a bite. It was perfect. The taste was sunshine. It was the taste of her childhood, of her grandmother's love, of a happy memory brought back to life. She looked at the beautiful cake. It was too big for one person to eat. Then she had an idea. She cut a large slice, put it on a plate, and covered it. She put her raincoat back on and walked back to the corner pantry. The little bell rang again as she entered. Mr. Gable looked up and smiled. "I finished my shopping, but I wanted to bring you something. I wanted to say thank you. This is my Grandma Elena's Sunshine Lemon Cake." Mr. Gable looked at the cake and his eyes were full of emotion. "That is the kindest thing anyone has done for me all week," he said softly. He invited her to sit at a small table in the corner of the shop. He made 2 cups of tea and they shared the cake together, talking about her grandmother, his shop, and life in the small town. When Clara left the shop an hour later, she was no longer a stranger. She had a new friend. As she walked home, she noticed that the rain had stopped. The clouds were moving away and a little bit of sun was beginning to shine through, making the wet streets sparkle. Clara smiled. Her grandmother was right. The cake really could make a rainy day feel sunny. And sometimes a search for one small ingredient could help you find something much sweeter.